luckily he's forgotten most of what you told him, Jim. He's thrived ever since. But those handicap
I could tell one or two stories, but I won't. We will move on.
Poyle hasn't done too much of late. That's why he's 33 to 1. Higgy's boy used to be with Nicky Henderson. He's now with Sandy Thompson. Got a good lad, Harry Haynes, riding him, 28 to 1. Bogside Theatre had a run round on the flat the other day. Dennis O'Regan's knocking in plenty of winners. So's David O'Meara, 12 to 1, taking over from jumping as well as he did on the flat. Rebel Dancer got to have a huge chance, that one. Really impressed with Rebel Dancer for Ian Williams, 7 to 1. And Shadows Lengthen, 12 to 1 for Mick Easterby and Wilson Rennick.
And moving on down, Ubi Ace, Robert Walford, ran pretty well on the flat in the first half of the season, comes here nice and fresh. If he doesn't pull hard early on, he's definitely one of the most interesting runners here. European Dream is a horse who's run very well at Wetherby before. He's a bit of a character, but on the flat there were signs Richard Guest had got him going again. Dance Into the Light, Joe Colliver for Mickey Hammond is 25 to 1 today. Touch of Irish, Brian Hughes, Ian Williams 12 to 1. And Scriptwriter, who used to of course be with Howard Johnson and running the colours of Graham Wiley, now with Evelyn Slack, won last time out, he's 20 to 1.
Haven't seen Bogside, don't get him confused with Bogside Theatre for a while, but he's got quite a useful bit of form. Costa Brava and Chris Grant's got his horses in good form and running up well enough on softish ground at Carlisle last time. General Ting, Leighton Aspel and Lucy Wadham, she's got a useful string for this season, 15 to 2. Empress Orchid, Donald McCain's knocking them in left, right and centre, 14 to 1 for Adrian Lane and Favours Braid, Richie McGrath and Tim Easterby, 40 to 1.
And the bottom three, really hard to fancy. It's a while since Little Bob actually won a race. Bocamix, Charlie Huxley was not a bad juvenile hurdler, but isn't in great form at present. And West Declare, Robert McCarr, Ferdy Murphy, the punters have left him alone. The sun beginning to set by the A1 on the Yorkshire track. How romantic, said our director.
Rebel Dancer, Jim, he should win this, shouldn't he?
Oh, I think Bogside Theatre might win it, but I wouldn't say that you're necessarily wrong either. I think it's, as it looks on the Racing Post page, pretty hard. Tickets remaining after leg 4, 6. The win fund, just to remind you, 330,000+, and that bonus prize of $750,000. John, I always think at Wetherby, you can't give horses too much to do on the hurdle track, even when the ground's on the soft side. They tend to, not freewheel, but they tend not to go flat out until they exit from the back straight. And here you see number 15's got really warm. John, that's mainly around the man-made fibres that are present underneath the numnar and around the breast girth. Would it worry your horse sweating there?
Oh, I'd be really worried. I'd be more worried if I was sitting on it, I think, than sitting here. It's sweating all the way down its neck. Looks a horrible thing to be riding, but hasn't had too much experience, so a couple of runs they soon settle down there maybe. But
never bothers me when a horse by Galileo sweats, because a lot of them do. Notably, the one that you won't touch.
Well, yeah, Frankel.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I don't think Richie McGrath will be sitting on this horse thinking he might just be on Frankel. Because I think by the time he's gone half a mile, he realised that he isn't. But anyway, Stuart Maton's calling them. Let's join him now.
Of 18, Favours Brave, who got very warm down at the start, restrained in rear early, pulling hard, maroon jacket. As in the black and white, it's Costa Brava who leads them on the run to the first from the grey Dance Into the Light. Higgy's boy in a black jacket, and then UB Ace, the noseband, who takes a bit of a grip just behind the leaders. Touch of Irish and Bogside Theatre out wide invariably makes the running, and she's pressing up through the field as they go over the first. Well, Little Bob wasn't very high, and Favours Brave was towards the rear with Rebel Dancer, the latter named Yellow Sleeves, blue cap right down on the inner. So crossing the second, where Costa Brava led, rest over safely, now joined by the free-going UB Ace, who won't settle. Dance Into the Light tracks the leading pair with Bogside Theatre away to the left, and then Higgy's boy. Touch of Irish, the white cap, follows these from Shadows Lengthen. Empress Orchid tucked in on the inside. Little Bob, after that first flight blunder, settled mid-pack, just rather reached for that flight. Rest over. Favours Brave still towards the rear with Rebel Dancer, preceded by European Dream and the nose-banded top weight Apuil. Meanwhile, Bocamix, 2/3 of the way back from Bogside, and General Ting, Scriptwriter, and Ouet Eclair is on the outer in a red and white jacket. So on the incline they go towards the back straight, with UB Ace and Costa Brava vying for the lead with Bogside Theatre. They're tracked by Dance Into the Light, Higgy's Boy. Then Touch of Irish, who's wide from Little Bob in a spotted jacket alongside Shadows Lengthen. Empress Orchid is cutting the corner from Script Right to Uit Eclair. Bogside in a pearl blue jacket is next from General Tig and Boca Mix, and then Puel to European Dream, Favours Brave, and Rebel Dancer is last of the 18-strong field and some 15 lengths off the lead as they go to the first of a line of 3 flights down the back straight. Bogside Theatre strides on narrowly from Costa Brava. UBA's hopped over in third. Still towards the rear, Rebel Dancer under a very patient ride, but he's now just beginning to pick off 1 or 2 of the stragglers as the principals pass through the halfway point. Costa Brava and Bogside Theatre. From UBA's Touch of Irish in a black and white jacket is wide of Higgy's Boy. The Great Dance Into the Light nearest to us. They're tracked through by Little Bob at the middle flight in the back straight, where Touch of Irish was a bit untidy. Favours Brave in rear was slow. Puel wasn't any too convincing either. 1 more to take on the far side, 4 out, but only just beyond halfway. And rising, Costa Brava from UBA's and Bogside Theatre. They were the first 3 to land. They're becoming a little more stretched out in behind. Rebel Dancer still towards the rear, but is creeping up steadily with Uit Eclair. General Ting towards the back is being bustled along. European Dream trying to sneak up on the inner as they leave the back straight on the long run to 3 out. Costa Brava and Xandervoy in front here from UBA's and Bogside Theatre. Touch of Irish disputes fourth with Higgy's Boy. Then Shadows Lengthen towards the outer. Bogside in a pearl blue jacket is creeping closer. Little Bob is ridden along from Uit Eclair. Rebel Dancer circling the field, then Empress Orchid from General Ting as heads turn for home, just over a half mile to travel, and they face this final line of 3 flights. Costa Brava challenged again by UBA's. They're a couple of lengths up on Bogside Theatre. Higgy's Boy being fairly firmly ridden along in fourth under Harry Haynes. They continue the gallop down towards the third last. Most of them under pressure in behind. White-faced Bogside keeping on from Touch of Irish. Rebel Dancer away to the left continues to close, only about 4 lengths off them as UBA's commits for home on the run down to the second last. So UBA's from Costa Brava, Higgy's Boy, Bogside Theatre and Rebel Dancer who's still closing in. That was the penultimate flight. Now there's this long run down to the last and then a short run in. UBA's with Higgy's Boy stoked up by Harry Haynes, ranging a challenge on the far side. Bogside Theatre in third. Rebel Dancer's effort now looks to be petering out, and then Costa Brava. UBA's finding a bit more on the run down towards the last. Draws to it and hops over safely. A long leap. Higgy's Boy challenged again for second by Bogside Theatre, and then Rebel Dancer driven out. UBA's, the ace in the pack, takes apart a competitive handicap. UBA's wins, close second. Bogside Theatre, Higgy's Boy, close fourth as well. Rebel Dancer and a staying on European Dream, then General Ting and Costa Brava.
Yeah, nice performance. Well done to Tim Walford, bringing that horse back nice and fresh. Always travels strongly, found more than enough. And the first 3, relative to the rest of the field, all did well.